Happy Friday, LREA members. It's your president, Teresa Knapp Gordon, with your weekly fireside chat. Today we're going to talk about end of the year and some different things that need to happen by the end of the year. But first, I want to say happy Educator Appreciation Week to all of our great educators in Little Rock School District. I want you to know that LREA appreciates you for your hard work and dedication. And we know that you love our kids and you connect with them and you make a difference every single day. So I want you to know that LREA recognizes that and appreciates you. I hope you've had a chance to take advantage of some of the great freebies this week that some of our local businesses have offered to our educators. And know that you're appreciated. I know that there are not better teachers and educators anywhere in the country than there are in Little Rock School District. And I know that you work hard every single day and do a great job. So I also know that testing is done for the most part. It's been a tough year. We've had a lot of things happen that were not good for teachers or good for education. I know that you're feeling a little tired and frazzled because it is that time of the year, and the kids are kind of bouncing off the walls, and the teachers are pulling their hair out trying to keep them in line. So, there's lots of things that have to be done by the end of the year, and there are lots of things happening this year. So I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page as far as what's happening and what's still coming. So contracts have gone out. You should have received those in your buildings by now. Those contracts are for next school year, the 2019-2020 school year. And you notice that teacher fair dismissal is not in that contract. So I just want you to be sure that you're aware of that when you sign it. I've received lots of messages from people wanting to know if they sign that contract, are they beholden to the district to come back. Technically, you have up until 10 days after the school year ends to rescind that contract if you sign it. You have 30 days to return the contract once you receive it, signed or not. I would advise you that if you're planning on taking another job in the state or in surrounding school districts like Pulaski County or North Little Rock, that you think very carefully before you sign that and then take a job out there, because we have an agreement with North Little Rock, Pulaski County, and Jacksonville that they will not take our teachers after they've signed contracts, and that will be enforced. Now, as far as the rest of the state, the district can actually go after another district to have them repay Little Rock School District for the money that they spend on the money that they would have spent on you for your contract, so your pay, which is not going to make your new district very happy if you go to another district in Arkansas. So just be aware that those things are agreements. Well, the second one is law, and so they can be enforced. So think very carefully if that's something you're considering before you sign that contract. I hope that you will come back and continue to stand with me and with LREA next year as we work to protect and educate our children here in Little Rock School District, because they need us, and they need strong advocates, and that is you. Also coming up, grades are due. I'm still working on finding out the date that grades are due in elementary, but I know that they are due by the end of the day on May 24th for secondary. So as soon as I find out about elementary, I will send that out in the know. Um, but as far as I know, um, it's by the end of the day on the 24th for secondary. Placements and assignments, um, teacher assignments for next year are due May 15th this year. The Little Rock Education Association, Little Rock School District agreed that we needed to move that date up from May 31st to May 15th in order to get all of our displaced people placed before they go home for the summer. So, so you should have your teaching assignment for next year by May 15th. If you do not, you need to let me know so that we can talk to your principal and get that taken care of. We do have some displaced people this year. We have had some cuts. Our literacy and math facilitators who are not paid on Title I have been displaced. They are actually redoing those positions, and there are going to be four or five new positions with new job descriptions, and those people can apply for those once they're posted. But in the meantime, they are displaced, and they will choose a new position. The reading and math facilitators who are paid through Title I, which is a different situation because a lot of times that Title I money expenditure is included in the school improvement plan, and the principals get to decide how to spend that Title I money. Those people were not displaced, but their contract is being reduced, the number of days of their contract. So they're in a little bit different situation. They are not displaced. And then we have some counselors who are displaced because the state has directed us to staff at state standards, which means one counselor per 450 kids, which means that we had to cut some counselors. And so we do have some counselors that are displaced. And those are all of the displacements as of right this minute. Now, there are also some other cuts that are coming, and those cuts are going to be based on staffing at state standards again, which means that they're going to be maxing out classes and things like that with schedules, and that's going to cause some displacement of teachers at schools, primarily in different subject area classrooms. As they max those classes out to 30 kids instead of 15 or 16, it will cause a need for less teachers. And so, under our agreement, nobody gets terminated unless you're an interim teacher. And all the interims have already received their pink slips. Hopefully we won't lose those new teachers either. But once everybody is situated in their buildings and the assignments are made, then whoever's left that doesn't have an assignment will be put into the displacement pool, whether it's due to job cuts or due to enrollment loss. And then those people will be considered displaced, and Human Resources will create a list of job openings from which those people can choose. Now, I know that you see job postings going up on the Little Rock School District email and on the job website. Those jobs can be posted, but they can't be filled until the displaced people have chosen a position. And they can choose from the open positions with the exception of magnet schools and new positions. So, like the Pinnacle View 9th grade is new positions. But there will be a list of open positions that they will get to choose from. So all of that we hope to have taken care of by the end of school, May 24th. so that all of those people who are displaced will know where they're going next year and have that settled before they go home for the summer. Also, while we're talking about assignments, the CIC has some responsibilities for the end of the year, and so if you're on a CIC committee, you need to make sure you're reviewing those responsibilities and making sure that all of that is done um, with your principal, because the CIC is involved in a lot of end of the year stuff like the master schedule, room assignments, all of those types of things. So be sure and review that information and make sure that the CIC is doing their job. Also, rep elections should have already taken place in April. If they have not at your school, that needs to happen. It's one rep for every 25 members. So, some of our secondaries have 4 or 5 reps, and some of our elementaries only have one. So be sure you need to have an election from the members. If you're the rep currently, you would conduct that election. But any member can conduct the election, or if you can't figure out how to get the election conducted, you can contact our office and we'll come out and conduct the election. But like I said, it's you elect one rep for every 25 members. You elect one alternate rep for every regular rep, and then you should also have an ESP rep. So you should have a classified member as to have a rep as a classified member too. So the rep election should have taken place, and also the CIC elections for next year. So the CIC is a little bit different, and the CIC election is everybody in the building gets to vote in the CIC election, whether they're an LREA member or not. And the members of the CIC committee can be any staff member. They don't have to be members of LREA. So it's important to get those elections done as well, because all of the training for that will take place when school starts next year, either in August or September, and you'll get notification of that as long as we have your names on file. The CIC committee is staffed a little bit different. I mean, the numbers are a little bit different. So if your staff, and that means the entire staff, not the members, if your staff has 25 members or less, your CIC would be 3 members. One of those members would have to be the rep, and one of those members would be a classified person. I don't think we have any schools that have less than 25, though. If you have at least 25 but less than 50 staff members, your committee should have 5 people. One of those would be the rep, and one of those would be a classified member. If you have 50 staff members or more, which is the case with the majority of our schools, you would have a 7-member CIC, and one of those members would be the rep, and one of those members would be a classified member. If you have more than one rep in your building, at least one rep needs to be on the CIC. That doesn't stop the other reps from running to be on the CIC, but at least one rep has to be on the CIC. So you would set aside those spots, one for the rep and one for the classified member, and then elect the rest of the spots. So for example, if my school had 40 staff members, then we would have a 5-member CIC, and one spot would be for the building rep automatically, and one spot would be for a classified rep. So then you would take nominations for the other 3 spots and for the classified spot. But the classified spot has to be a classified member. Now, if you only have, let's say you take nominations and you only have one classified person be nominated, well, then they're elected by acclamation and you don't have to worry about it. it's not a job that a lot of people want. Although a healthy school environment with a healthy culture would have a strong CIC. So all of that is outlined in the old P&A. So if you have any questions about that, you can refer to that, or you can call the office and I can help you with that. But those elections, if they have not happened in your school, they need to happen, and those names need to be sent into the LREA office. And the form for turning in those names goes out every Friday in the know. So be sure and get that and fill it out. If for some reason you cannot get an election done in your building, you can call the office and I will determine a date and time when I can come out and conduct the election. It only takes 10 to 15 minutes. The best time to do it is at the end of a staff meeting. When you have the whole staff there, you can do the CIC, and then you can dismiss those people who are not members, and you can do the rep elections. Or you can call a separate meeting if that's what you choose to do. But you have to remember that all staff can vote on the CIC and can be on the CIC. Only LREA members can vote on the rep or be a rep. So be sure to distinguish those two things. So have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Teachers Appreciation Week to all of our educators. And I will see you next week. 9 more days.